Hey, sweet treats, this is All of the Sticks. I have just finished Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Um, I actually really enjoyed it. It was very funny. I mean, it in how my zombie movies usually end up, they're usually either very serious or very funny. This one was more on the comedic side, I won't lie. And there weren't really many straight parts to it. Um, like it was a very adult movie. I would not like to see anybody. I would prefer it be an R. I think yeah, it is an R-rated movie. So, and there's good reason for it to be an R-rated movie. Um, but don't get me wrong, the jokes were hilarious. Um, I can imagine how teenagers would react to to zombie apocalypse. Well, these are in the trailer, so taking selfies of themselves, um, being pretty stupid, all in all. But actually, they weren't really that stupid. Um, and there weren't really any adults. It was maybe three adults in there total. Um, but no, not like three adults, but the main adults that were there, they didn't have a huge part to play. And that's actually not bad because it's thought of from a teenager perspective. And I actually really like that. Um, yeah, it was very funny. It did break some physics. I don't mind that in a zombie movie. There were some serious points, but it wasn't serious enough, I guess, because there was a part where they were talking about, oh, um, somebody, I think they lost their parent, or they died, or they ran away, or something like that. And we never actually touched base on that. It was like, oh, bro, if you ever need to talk about it, we can talk about it. It's like, oh yeah, bro, I know. It was a very bro moment. It was, but it was a very good movie. I definitely would recommend it for those of you who liked Shaun of the Dead and liked Zombieland. Zombieland is actually one of my favorite zombie movies out there, but it's not super grim like I Am Legend. I'm going to count I Am Legend as a zombie movie because it's almost what it is. Um, but it's not super serious. It's very Zombieland when it comes to the jokes, or not Zombieland when it comes to the jokes. It's Zombieland when it comes to the tone. It's very light. There are no dark pieces. Um, I did like the noises. I did like the foley. It was pretty interesting. They didn't use I don't think they used the normal um, watermelon to explode heads. But I would have to actually look into trivia on that, and I actually might do that later. I might look into trivia as the channel grows. I'm going to look more into the movies that I watch and more into the trivia that I watch about it, so I can actually understand more about what I'm actually watching, because this has actually become a very fun thing for me to go into film. Trying to think about what else, because it was a good movie. It was actually pretty well paced. And all in all, um, it was it was, I can't really think of anything bad to say about it. Costume design was very good. I think it was very good. Um, yeah, the costume design was pretty normal. It was meant to be normal. Nothing really over the top, and very in for its time, which is supposed to be. It's a recent thing. Um, how they utilized their skills was very funny and very useful. Like it would think I would think if they edited or not edited it down to a more mature level, it would inspire a lot of younger generations to prepare for something like this. I'm not saying it's making people into doomsayers, but it's preparing people for skills that we probably wouldn't use. I actually have a book that I've been reading on and off about surviving different situations, and actually it's pretty good. And thinking about using that and seeing how both of those things were both utilized in the movie, along with other skill sets that a normal scout or normal survival forces would probably use. I would actually love to hear an input if anybody in the any survivalists or people who go camping a lot know about using these tactics. Let me know, because that's actually a really good. That's a really good interest for me, that how people survive in the wilderness and how everything happens. But that is breaking me away from the movie just a little bit. But in reality, it's not really. It's very funny. It's a little informative, like how some people would react and how stupid some people can be. Let me think. I'm trying to think about how many actual adults in there before there were zombies. I think there was like, maybe I can count them on one hand. That's how many adults were actually viewed in this movie as adults. So, but the teenagers ruled the world at this moment. But it was put into the mind of a teenager, so they're not going to really want to see an adult. They do want to see an authority figure in the situation comes to it, but as all of the authority figures are all zombified, I'm going to say zombified, I like that word, as all of everybody else is zombified, they're like, we can't go to the adults, we have to handle this ourselves, we have to be the adults. But don't get me wrong, that's actually a really good point that I would like to think of, that who we are right now, the generation right now would be more suited for the zombie apocalypse, except for the special people, and they probably don't know who they are, but it's not like, I'm not saying like that kind of, I don't want to say something horrible, but don't want to say that everybody's an idiot, because in some cases everybody is an idiot. But some people would kill themselves for a stupid reason, like taking a selfie. And some people would get themselves killed for doing something ridiculous. But our generation right now is sensitized that when we are put in the situation, we actually think about the actual, like, what would we do when the situation calls for it? What would we do in a zombie apocalypse? What would we do if aliens came to Earth? What would we do? Well, actually, that was last generation. Last generation was when I was very little, so I wouldn't really think about that unless I went back and watched Mars Attacks, Independence Day, Signs, etc., etc. So when I was growing up, I would think about it, but I wouldn't actually move on it, because that generation was mixed towards the aliens. Our generation's is mixed towards zombies, our government falling, etc., because I don't know. That's just the way that they have made the world work. But all in all, back to Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Very good movie. I give it 8 3/4, 8.75. There were some like little itty bitty things, but it was just basically nitpicks. I would give it a 9. But just some of the not the graphics. Well, thinking about one part, yeah, the graphics kind of failed there, or the SFX kind of failed, but it was done in a funny way, so I can forgive it, and turn it into a nitpick instead of like a huge thing. But Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, definitely recommend it for those of you who are allowed to watch R-rated movies. If you have anything that you want me to watch, I love horror movies. I love basically any genre, except for crazy dramas and I can't even think of a movie genre that I don't like. But if you guys can recommend it, I will certainly give it my best shot and give you a Sticks review on it. So, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, 8.75 out of 10. That's a lot of sticks. But anyway, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, and subscribe to me to get some more. Bye.